Ambassador-designate Sergio Gore is set to arrive in India within days, and with New Delhi and Washington work to steady strained ties. A close aide to Donald Trump, Gore is expected to focus on repairing the relations hit by steep US tariffs. He met Narendra Modi and S. Jaishankar last year.
All right, but then looks like it's going to be tough times ahead for Indian exporters as the clock ticks down on a crucial trade deal with the United States. Now, industry leaders, they are warning that January is really the decisive month to secure orders for 2026 summer shopping season. And without a breakthrough in trade talks between New Delhi and Washington, major labor-intensive sectors including textiles, leather and handicrafts, all of these risk losing massive US contracts to global competitors. Experts are saying that if a deal isn't sealed this month, the impact on India's export revenue and manufacturing jobs, that could be severe. However, US President Donald Trump continues with his tirade against India over trade talks and tariffs. Let's listen in.
I mean, I had India coming to me, sir, I've been waiting 5 years. We're changing it. We're changing it. India ordered 68 Apaches, and Prime Minister Modi came to see me. Sir, may I see you, please? Yes, I have a very good relationship with him. He's not that happy with me because, you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs now because they're not doing the oil, but they are. They've now reduced it very substantially, as you know, from Russia. We're getting rich because of tariffs, by the way. I hope everyone understands that.
All right, but even as Trump continues to target India, India's exporters are keenly awaiting the conclusion of India-US trade deal as the delay is hurting the exporters. Anjali gets more on the story. Anjali.
Indian exporters are voicing concerns over drying up of US orders ahead of the crucial summer season. Now, January is the month where a lot of orders for the upcoming summer seasons are placed, but Indian exporters are at a competitive disadvantage with the tariffs being as high as 50% compared to lower tariffs in the other countries. Now, Indian exporters have been taking cuts on their margins in order to sustain the long-term relationships with US buyers, with a 50% reciprocal tariff imposed by the US administration on India. Indian exporters have had to give out massive discounts to their buyers as high as 20% in some cases, and a part of it is also being absorbed by the buyers as well. Now, while there has been some diversification taken up by exporters across leather, textile, gems and jewelry, all of these sectors, these have aided business, but what the exporters have come to realize is they cannot completely, make up for the shortfall in the US orders. The US does make up for a much larger portion of the exports for all of these industries, and therefore, even with diversification, there is a considerable drop in exports from these sectors to the US that we've seen. For example, if we consider textile, then in October 2025, the exports declined by 12.9, about 13% year on year, and for gems and jewelry also the exports were down 30.57%. In fact, CRISIL estimates that US tariffs are going to cut the Indian leather industry's revenues by 10 to 12% this fiscal year. Now, if you compare Indian exporters to the other neighboring countries or the other competitive countries, then we are at 50% tariffs compared to the 20% on Vietnam and Bangladesh and 19% on Indonesia and Cambodia. So, which means there is a considerable competitive disadvantage for Indian exporters, and that is what they're currently battling, and it is crucial for them to secure some orders for this upcoming summer season.
All right, thank you, Anjali, for those updates. But with that, time for a very quick break. We'll be right back and tell you how the US and Asia Pacific markets have really opened up this month.